Slow love, uncomplicated touch, stable as we go, consistent as we grow. I want slow love.
I'm sure you guys are just as tired of hearing this as I am of saying it, but I'm in an episode and I'm going through it as I always seem to be. I've been having migraines like back to back, and when I don't have a migraine I have a headache, and it just comes back and it never seems to go away, and it's been going on for a while, and I'm just a little bit tired. I had a therapy appointment yesterday and we talked about some good stuff, and it's just stuff that I need to figure out for myself. I feel a little bit out of control with my life. I think there's a lot of stuff that is just out of my control going on right now, and it's hard for me as someone that loves to be in control to have that. So I'm going to try to do what I can, find control where I can, and yeah. As you all know, I've sort of been on a graphic novel kick for the past week or so, and I think I'm coming to the end of that. I'm ready to read some actual books, specifically reread some books. I started Shadow Princess, which is the fourth book, the Zodiac Academy series. It is a fantasy romance series. I had previously set this book down and decided to go back to it when I knew that I was kind of in the mood for something fun and silly. And it's like 50 pages, and I'm like kind of losing it for it a little bit. Basically, it's about these twins who find out that they're actually fae, and they are set to inherit the kingdom, the throne. They have to go to Zodiac Academy to learn how to use their magic and all of the stuff that they missed, and it's just fine, I guess. The issue that I have is each book is very long, and all of the stuff happens in like the last 100 pages, and if the other 5 to 600 pages are dull, it can be a little tough to get through. So I'm kind of just gonna read that slowly, and I think I'm going to reread, speaking of authors who write very slow books up until the last 100 pages, I think I'm gonna reread a Sarah J Maas book. I'm not quite sure which one. I'm leaning more towards Crescent City, and then I'm also listening to the audiobook of Stationery Shop. Not very far in. I started reading the physical book and then decided to get the audiobook. I feel like it's a really beautiful story, and I think the audiobook is just going to be transportive. As far as what I've been watching, I actually don't have too many updates for you since we last spoke. I told you that I was watching Crash Course in Romance. Each episode is like an hour plus, so it's a commitment. When I first started watching it, I could sit down and watch like an hour, and I was so into it, and now that I've sort of taken a little bit of a break, it's a little bit harder for me to watch an hour. And I also started watching Love Island season 3. I started crocheting again, so when I crochet, I watch Love Island. I will say, like, season 3, I'm not as into it as season 1 as I was in season 1. I think my interest in it has kind of waned as each season has gone on. I don't know if it's the quality of the show, or I've just kind of lost interest in the gimmick of the thing. I will say that I have watched Cody Ko's MILF Manor series like 3 times. And this weekend, my partner got a new game that he's like really into, so that's kind of going to be consuming all of his time. So I think what we're gonna do this weekend is kind of just have like a reading fest. I'm just in the reading mood.
You lay easy on my mind, like a candle I just burn away. All we really have is time. All we really have is time. I don't wanna waste with anybody but you. I don't wanna waste it on anybody. Take it with anybody but you.
I seem to have a momentary reprieve from this 2-week-long migraine headache combo, so I thought we could open this month's Fairy Loot together. This is a book subscription box that includes bookish merch and a special edition hardcover book with little designs and stuff on it. This month's theme is alchemy. So first up we have this little thing. It's drawers. So I guess you would hang it on the wall and then you could put little things in them. These might be good for crafts. Right now I've been keeping all my crafts in a purse and I need something better. I can hang it in my office. So next up we have this little box, and this is the World of Sarah J. Maas calendar. So first up we have the cards for the month, and they all are foiled, and the back has full art of whatever is on the card. And then it also comes with a little stand, or if you just wanted to have the art. They're pretty thick stock. They almost feel like if you were to buy like a tarot card deck. This is what I would expect the thickness to be. The art's great. I really like the foiling. And it seems like it's all the characters from, like all the, at least the main characters from her series. So it says from Throne of Glass, Court of Thorns and Roses, and Crescent City. That's cool. I will definitely be using that on my desk. Then we have the character card from this design that has, it's like the spoiler card that has all of the design, like who designs all the stuff, like the artists. Then we have this little lanyard and like a badge set. Has this like red and blue, black paisley pattern, and it has little VAs on it. And the badge has the same pattern with roses and stuff, and VA on the back. I'm assuming from Vampire Academy. Alright, so next up we have this little box, and it says Hollow Book. I'm really excited about this because this is the third version of the ones that they've done. They do like series of hollow books that you can like store stuff in, and you can put them on your shelves and they all look pretty good together. I'm assuming this one is going to be red. I think the other ones have been like blue and green. It says Advanced Alchemy on the front, and when you open it, it just looks like this. So you can like put bookmarks, or something on the inside, and like put it in your shelf. Lastly, before we get to the book, we have the tarot cards. We have 5 of moons and 6 of moons. All right, and lastly, we have the book. So right off the bat, we have some really pretty sprayed edges. I don't know if since I started getting the box, we've had any sprayed edges that have a design on the top. Ooh, I can already tell this is gonna be gorgeous. I always do this the wrong way for you guys. So first up, we have the bookmark that matches the character art. We have this letter from the author that has this gorgeous character on it. And then the book itself is the Scarlet Alchemist. The sprayed edges are gorgeous, matching the pattern on the front, the top, bottom, and side. The back is gorgeous as well. We have our end pages, and then our naked hardcover that is gorgeous, gorgeous. And the side, and these are always signed, I never say that, but they're signed. This is set in an alternate Tang Dynasty China. Xylin, who dreams of becoming a royal alchemist, she's offered a chance to travel to the capital to compete in exams, and she gets caught in the deadly games of the royal family. Sounds very good. I'm excited to get to this one. Like I had a couple of boxes ago, the book is definitely my favorite. It's gorgeous. Or this little calendar set I really like. I like the foiling, I like the art style. I'm a Sarah J Maas fan, so I probably will get the most use out of this, but yeah, that's the box.
Seeking you will find. There is nothing in you that is fading. All you ever do is shine. You are brighter all the time. I don't wanna waste it on anybody. Take it with anybody but you. I don't wanna waste it on anybody. Make it with anybody but you. I don't wanna waste it on anybody.
Staying up quite late reading like I intended to do, and I read for the majority of today, and I did a really good amount of reading. I'm very proud of how much I ended up getting done. So first up, I finished Shadow Princess last night. I think I was like halfway through when I updated you guys the first time, and I had planned to move on to something else, but I just decided to knock it out, and I did give it 3 stars. I have given every book in the series 3 stars. Some of them have been like generous 3 stars, others I actually enjoyed at a 3-star rating. I don't know if I'm going to continue the series, to be honest. I feel very mediocre about it. All of the interesting things happened at the end, and none of it was super surprising. I think one of the things that this series has going for it is the like shocking twist endings that are supposed to like drag you in and want to make you read the next book. But I saw the ending coming pretty much 100, 200 pages in, so it was in no way shocking to me. And I'm not someone that typically wants to guess the ending. Like, I like to be surprised. To me, that's part of storytelling. So I don't look for clues, I don't look for hints, I don't intentionally try to figure out endings. But this one was just like, oh, like this is gonna happen, obviously. It's one of those that I just pick up because I feel like I'm gonna read the next book and I'm gonna love it so much, and I'm gonna understand why people love the series so much, and it's fun. But then I just never feel very satisfied with how it ends for the page length. So I don't know, I think that's gonna be a future me's problem. But then today I ended up starting and finishing the entirety of Half a Soul. It's not very long, it's a little under 300 pages, but it is like a historical Regency fantasy romance, and I enjoyed it. It got a 4-star from me. It's about a girl who, when she was a child, she has a run-in with a fae who steals half of her soul, so she doesn't have the very typical human emotions. She has like the big emotions, but the typical like day-to-day happiness and things like that she doesn't really feel. And it's about the time that she's supposed to come out, like it's her season, I guess, and her cousin, who she lives with, go to London. And in London there is this plague going around that is affecting the children, and she works with a magician in London who works for the government, helping to fix the plague that's going on, affecting the kids in exchange for him figuring out how to get the rest of her soul back. I was really liking this until I would say like the last 100 or so pages. There is a change in scene that I don't really like. I got a certain energy from the first portion of the book that I feel like the latter half just didn't make sense with. But I really liked the romance. I thought it was very sweet, and I think if you like historical romance and you like fantasy, then it's a good combo for you, and it's pretty short and it's fun. So yeah, I might continue the series. I believe it's like companion books at some point. We'll see. I mentioned in a previous clip that I was going to do some rereading of some Sarah J Maas. I think I decided that I was going to reread her entire backlist, so the Throne of Glass, Court of Thorns and Roses, and Crescent City series, in preparation for the release of the third book in the Crescent City series in January, I think. But that means that I need to start with Throne of Glass series, so I'm gonna read the first one, which is Throne of Glass. The first one is technically a short story compilation, but I've read it before, didn't love it, and I don't feel like it's necessary for me to reread it, so I'm going to start with Throne of Glass. I actually reread this one pretty recently, and I was on to I think the second or third one, but I'm just gonna start from the beginning, start all over. Same with the Court of Thorns and Roses series. I had started a reread of that several months back, and I had stopped halfway through the series, so I think I'm gonna just do a full reread all over again, but I'm gonna do it pretty slowly. So I'm gonna read other things in addition to her books over the next 2 months. So, well, over the next month, right? Because it's December 1st. Yeah, it's December 1st, and I think it comes out the end of January. So I'm gonna be reading it over December, January to catch up to the third one in the Crescent City when that comes out, so I can read that. But that means that I'm gonna be reading it kind of slowly. So I'm gonna start tonight, Throne of Glass, and then I think next I want to read either Starling House or Masters of Death. These are both due back pretty quickly, pretty soon, before the other ones that I got. So I think these are gonna be my next 2 priorities. So for the rest of the night, I'm kind of burnt out on reading. So I'm probably gonna watch some K-dramas and then start possibly Throne of Glass. But that is the Friday update. I'm still gonna prioritize reading because I have a lot of books that I want to get to, but that is the update. We'll talk later.
You and I on the trail, just us and the waves. No need to behave in the harbor of
Spent the majority of my Saturday watching Crash Course in Romance. I have 6 episodes left and I love it so much. We had an entire episode of just the hero's feelings for the heroine, like realizing that he had a crush on her, and like he just revealed his feelings to her on episode 9. And I'm like kicking my feet and giggling. It's so good, and it's like exactly what I wanted. I will say there are some like darker elements to it. There is like a murder investigation going on and some other elements with the hero's past and stuff like that, but it's so good. The thing that's making the show is the 2 main characters. They feel so real, and I'm just so attached to them, particularly the hero. I think the actor is doing a fantastic job with the emotions and the backstory and all of the stuff that goes into it. It's a very typical like grumpy sunshine story, but they are just taking it to a whole other level. It's so good, and yeah, I'm really liking it. And yeah, so other than that, I have I started a little bit of Throne of Glass and I didn't really get very far in, but I decided to pick up Starling House. I am 100 pages in and I'm enjoying this okay so far. I really like the author's writing. I thought this was a YA story, but I guess not. But it's basically about a girl who is taking care of her younger brother, trying to get him into a private academy. Her mother passed away in a car accident and she doesn't know who her father is, and so she's kind of left to take care of her brother. They live in this small town that is full of secrets and bad people, and it's kind of like this poisonous place. And she's always been obsessed with the Starling House, which is a gothic palatial mansion that was built in this small town. She gets a job cleaning the house from the guy that's currently living there, and she's like trying to discover all of the secrets. It's a very eerie and creepy house. It seems to have some sort of sentience. It's definitely haunted, and I'm enjoying the story. It's atmospheric. The writing is claustrophobic and eerie and just reminds me of like a good gothic classic. So I am enjoying it. I'm not totally engrossed in it quite yet because, like I said, I've been watching Crash Course and that's sort of taken up my entire day, but I'm enjoying it. So I think that's going to be the end of this video. I really hope that you enjoyed it. Let me know down in the comments your thoughts on anything that I read or watched, or how your week has been. I would love to talk. Don't forget to subscribe if you're looking for more content like this. You can also follow my socials down below in the description. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll catch you guys in my next one.
Like our grief through